Hello, America. It's Friday. We're glad that you're here. There's a lot going on. We've got a lot of news to cover. We're going to do a roundtable. Stu is stopping in today, and we're going to get a look at the election from him. But there's, the numbers are not good for the Republicans. And meanwhile, this week, the Democrats have just gone insane. And I don't know if you saw what Pritzker said yesterday or day before, but he is talking about a purge. If they get in 2028, there will be a purge. And I think they'll try to purge if they get the House and the Senate. We're in deep, deep trouble. But let's just focus on the things that we can change today and do the right thing. We'll get to this in 60 seconds. First, let me tell you about Rush Tax. You know that IRS notice that's sitting on your kitchen counter right now? Yeah. It's not waiting patiently for you to get around to it. Every single day, you leave it there. The IRS quietly adds penalties, stacking interest, and turning one mistake into something bigger and a more expensive problem that keeps growing while you sleep. The IRS doesn't forget, and it doesn't forgive, exactly. It doesn't give second chances, and that is exactly why Rush Tax Resolution exists. They know every single rule, they know every procedure, and they know exactly how to step in and advocate for you when the IRS has you in their crosshairs. You've been avoiding that letter, the one that's been staring back at you. Today's the day to stop the madness. When you mention my name, Rush Tax is going to give you a free IRS transcript investigation. That's a service that other teams will charge you about $500 for without even saying that they can help you. Rush will offer this upfront and for free, and they'll only take your case if they know they can help you. So get a Rush tax attorney now. Protect yourself. Call 877-554-RUSH, 877-554-7874, or go to rushtaxresolution.com. So I want to start with J.D. Pritzker. He's talking about what is going to happen in 2028 or 2029 when they win, assuming that they do win. Listen to this.
What does a Project 2029 agenda look like for you?
I don't think you can speak of it in shorthand, but I'll just say a couple of things that I think are absolutely necessary. One is we've got to restore the rule of law, and that means holding people accountable who've broken the law. I'm talking about in this administration when we get a new one.
Stop. Jesus, sweet baby Jesus, be with me. We have to restore the rule of law? Sweet baby Jesus, let me smell the hay in your manger. We have to restore the rule of law. We have to punish the people who have broken the law. Come to me now, sweet Jesus, before I lose my ever-loving mind. We have to punish those who have violated the law. Let me ask you this. Could we apply that maybe to the little people? Could we apply that to people who are, I don't know, stealing from our treasury? Could we apply that to, I don't know, people who are stabbing people on the streets? Could we maybe do that? How about this one? A damning study of over 1 million kids finds myocarditis only in the vaccinated. Can I ask you a question? When will anyone pay any price for the millions of people that have died because of COVID? When will anyone pay any price? We're not even talking about stealing from people. We are talking about killing people. And quite honestly, follow the science. Wow, baby Jesus just came to me. Wow, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Wow, because I almost said things that would have had the show canceled, and I would have been in court at FCC. I would have been in FCC hell. Thank you, sweet baby Jesus. They knew. They knew what they were doing, and they did it anyway. And no one is going to pay any price. But I guess if you're Donald Trump and you're trying to have ICE follow the law and go and get people who have stabbed people to death or raped children and have them deported, that, for some reason, that needs to be prosecuted. But not COVID, not the people stealing, not the people raping children, none of that. Not the politicians who have been involved in all of this stuff. No. Gang, Marxists do the same thing. Marxists and Islamists do the same thing in the end. When they get full power, what do? What do? They purge. If they get power, they mean it because they do it. This is what Marxists do. They purge. He just visited me again. Oh, thank you. We must come together. Oh my gosh, look at this miracle that is happening. Do you know? I mean, I want to testify to you now that Jesus comes to you when you really need him. I was about to lose my mind, and here I am, 2 minutes later, about to say, we need to love one another. We need to stop this fighting with one another. We need to find our way to one another. We have to stop saying that person is a traitor and you must hate them. We have to stop all of that. We have to come together. The evil that we are fighting is so profound that we will lose. And when we lose this time, and I'm not, the sweet baby Jesus grew up. He preached for a while. And because it pissed everybody off, they nailed him to a tree. He rose again for our sins, but he also promised, I'm coming back. The battle that we are approaching may very well be the final battle before Jesus comes back. We need to love one another because this one is all hands on deck. This is all hands on deck. There's a great sorting that is going on. And if you don't have the Spirit as your guide, if you are looking at everything politically, you're going to get lost. If you're looking at things because you're angry, you are going to end up on the wrong side. You won't think you are, but you will be. I can't believe I'm here. What is happening to me? I testify to you now that we are going to be asked to stand, but not slaughter. And the way things are going, everybody's getting so hyped up that everyone is a mortal enemy and a traitor, and our side would purge just as much as their side would. We are not immune. That is a human trait. And we are not to engage in that. I suddenly know all of this is true. It's coming, and we are to love one another and be the example. We stand for what is right. If somebody, last night on that special, it was an amazing special. I don't remember who said it, but one of our experts was talking about how the rape of children is happening in Sharia law. It's happening all over the world. And we have gotten to this place to where we won't judge it. And she was raped as a child. She was raped. She was brutalized as a child by her father. And the school knew it, but the school wouldn't do anything about it because that's their culture. And that's the problem. We have gotten to this place to where we have just tried, they have twisted. Satan doesn't destroy first, he perverts. He takes what's good and he perverts it, and then he uses it. And by him using it, it destroys it. He is the destroyer, but he is the great perverter first. And he has taken our best traits, our love, our compassion, our wanting to get along, and he has perverted it to the point to where we will sit there and say that young girl is being abused, but that's their culture. If that's their culture, then we must say that culture is evil. And we have stopped saying that because our best human traits that come out in the Western society, the best part of us is tolerance, is to get along, is to love one another. But you must not love that. It can't harden your heart. You still need to be filled with compassion. I have learned so much, just even in the last week. We must still guard that best part of our culture and us. But at the same time, we have to be razor sharp on evil and call it by its name. What was done during COVID was evil. It was evil. We had people in our own government conspiring to make something absolutely deadly. They knew exactly what they were doing, but they had such little value in human life that their little experiment was more important than millions of people. And we went to one of the most evil countries in the world, China, and we partnered with them because they didn't have a problem doing it, and our laws restricted us from doing it. So let's partner with them and do it in some crazy garage laboratory. And it went out, and then they covered it up. And then the drug companies were excused and told, don't worry about any kind of liability. And they conspired with our own politicians all over the world, and they killed millions of people. That's what happened. Period. That's the truth. Period. And it was evil. Exclamation point. I would be remiss if I didn't say one other thing. I'm just looking up at the clock. I'm already late. Let me take a 1-minute break, and then I come back and tell you one other thing. Patriot Mobile. It is rare in life to get exactly what you want. With most things, there's a trade-off of some sort. For instance, it used to be the case that you want a really good cell service, you had to, contract with one of the big guys. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. It just doesn't have to. The trade-off is you're taking part of your money that you sent to them every month, and you send it to causes that you don't believe in. Abortion, do you believe in that? Well, if you're with Verizon, they've been giving money to Planned Parenthood forever. Why would you do that? Good news, Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile, you don't have to put up with it anymore. They have better customer service. They're on the same exact system in cell towers, okay? Same. But you're not giving all that money to Verizon or AT&T or any of the big guys. You're giving it to Patriot Mobile, and they're taking a percentage of money, and they're giving it to good causes. They're the only Christian conservative phone company in the world. Stand with them as they stand with you and our values. PatriotMobile.com/Beck. Call 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT. Promo code Beck. Free month of service. PatriotMobile.com/Beck. Promo code Beck. Make the switch today. 10-second station. I mean, friends, since we're already here in the pew and our Bibles are open, I would be remiss if I didn't say one other thing. Last night, at the beginning of the special, Ricky was freaking out in the control room, she told me this morning, because we were not more than 30 seconds in. We had this open that really shows the problem. I'll play it here for you in a minute. And I'm watching it, and I am overwhelmed by, in a moment where there are few things that I know that I say that I know do not come from me. This monologue a minute ago did not come from me. And I know it because it happens in an instant. And what I was thinking I was going to do is completely gone, and I'm going some other way. And I know I'm saying, okay, I'm not steering. Go ahead. And one of those moments was that chalkboard that I did at Fox. The anarchists, the communists, the Islamists will all work together to destroy Israel, destabilize Europe, and then finally come over here and destroy the Western world. I know that didn't come from me, and I had several promptings all the way through that time period. Fall on your sword on that. Do not stop saying that. That is true. And so I obeyed, and I did. And last night at the beginning, I'm watching this open, and it's showing where we really are. And I realize we're in that battle now. And I realize, for a time there, I thought, maybe this isn't going to happen. Maybe we avoided it. Maybe we did something right. Maybe I was wrong. Whatever it was, maybe. And here we are now, 15 years later after that chalkboard, and I'm seeing that, and I'm watching this, and I'm overwhelmed with two things. One, oh dear God, it wasn't wrong. It was right, and it's here. And this is now that battle. And here's the part I want to tell you. I was overwhelmed when we opened because I was overwhelmed with God is so good. He is so good. He allowed me to share that with you 15, 16, 17 years before we're here. He is not surprised by anything. And he is telling us he is engaged in this. So no matter how scary things look, no matter what it is that we're facing, he's not surprised by it, and he knows it, and he's prepared, and he's telling us what to do. You may feel like he's not telling you what to do, but he will. In the quiet ways, he will. Everyone was born for a reason, and maybe your time hasn't come yet. Maybe you think you're doing things that he's telling you to do, but you don't see any result in it. Believe me, you're not alone. I feel that way every day. And I know people say, Glenn, it's so easy to see. Not for me. It's not. It's not. So even in those days where you just don't think you make a difference, believe me, you do. You do. And you're here for a reason. And he's got it. So no matter how bleak things may be, no matter how bad you feel, open up your arms and say, sweet baby Jesus, let me smell that hay. Because you just witnessed You just saw it happen in real time. I was so angry, and I had no intention of telling you all of this stuff. I didn't have any of this stuff in my head, and I know it to be true. Okay. Let's just start over. Could I have the wheel back, please, Jesus? I have a show to do. We have some bills to pay and some money to make and some laughs to be had. So we'll get to all of those things in just a minute. All right, you might go your whole life without, ever encountering any kind of violence. In fact, I hope for you, that that's the way it is. But I understand, that, you can't always count on that being the case. One of these days, you or somebody you love might be walking along, minding your own business. Dangerous situation going to land right in front of you. My daughter, I told you this the other day. My daughter said to me, Dad, because she's told me, I'm carrying my burner launcher, and I knew she wasn't. I'm carrying it. She calls me up and she said, Dad, I promise you I'm going to carry it with me all the time. And I said, what just happened? And she was followed by some creep, and she had to drive all the way to the police station. She was followed by somebody, and she couldn't get away from him and had to drive to the police station. And she said, the whole thing I kept thinking is, I wish I had my burner launcher. Look, you don't know when you're going to need it. Just have it, please. Let me be your father for a minute. Let me be your dad if you're a young woman or a young man. Please go get a Byrna launcher. Byrna, BYRNA.com/Glenn. Byrna.com/Glenn. Get it now.
Torch insiders are raving about last night's special where Glenn exposed the enemy already at the gates. If you missed it, it's available on demand now on the home and watch page at glennbeck.com/torch.
Welcome back, Torch Insiders. If you are an insider right now and you're inside the insider feed, check it out right now. I am posting the super secret squirrel number that gives you priority, no one else but you priority, to call in and talk to Glenn. Glenn wants to hear from you if you watched the special last night, specifically if you had any questions, or if you just wanted to comment or talk about it. Call that number right now. I just posted it in the insider feed for you. Let me do it one more time if it doesn't think that I'm spamming and kick me out. But I think you know the number. If you don't, then ask me and or somebody else, and I'm sure somebody else has the number. But call that number in right now if you want to talk to Glenn. You're going to get front-of-the-line access and go right to him and talk to him. He's going to be taking your calls all day today. We're also going to have, as I teased earlier, we are going to have Stu is going to make an appearance. That's going to be in hour 3 today. Someone made a comment. Where was it? Oh, it was from Kamal Cahy. I'm probably screwing that up, from Mechanicsville, Virginia. Said now that Stu is a guest, he should be referred to as Steve. I call when I see Stu almost every single day. I'll see him in the hallway, and I'll go, "Hey, Steven," just to see if he remembers his name. Sometimes he pauses and then goes, "Oh yeah, that is my name." But yeah, that's funny. But Stu will be here in hour 3, so get ready for that. That should be good. They're going to talk about a bunch of polling information. I'm going to have a little bit more on that a little bit later coming up in the show. I have to, before I get to the rest of your comments, I have to hit this up because Glenn was talking about, when will we be able to call, calling evil by its name? Can we just start with that? Maybe that as a baseline. Let's just call bad people bad, call evil out when you see it. And that brings me to Cesar Chavez. Yes, one more time. I saw this, and it just did my heart so good. Check this out. This is from San Fernando, the city of San Fernando in Los Angeles. Check this out.
Breaking news here in San Fernando. We just found out that the city is removing this statue honoring Cesar Chavez. An officer came up to us.
Get it out of here!
Tell us they were bringing in a backhoe
and
removing the statue. And you can see it being lifted up into the air right now. And the mayor mentioned...
I just want to hang on that for a while. Hang on it. Get it? As it's hanging. Anyway, I used to live... This is the city of San Fernando. I used to live probably 10 minutes from where this was. And my wife's family would always be like, "Why do you hate Cesar Chavez so much?" And I was like, "Oh, really? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. And when I tell you why, the question will be not why I hate Cesar Chavez so much. The question will be, why don't you hate Cesar Chavez as much as I do? But I don't know. By the way, if you can see, we have a helper. Sarah's got a helper. There she is. Sarah's little helper today. Say hi. Say hi. Give me the salute. That was the best one. Sarah's helper. She's going to be here all day. Post to the chat if you want any questions. All day. She said all day. She's got something to get to later today. Well, for 3 hours. For 3 hours. If you have any questions for the helper for Miss Sarah Sullivan, put them in the chat. Maybe we can bring her up here. I'll see what I can do. Some of the comments today. Michelle in the Mountains. Jason, do you need the community's help to put together a way for us to connect? I know I'd help. So we are building that infrastructure. I think I saw another comment from you, Michelle, earlier about fast tracking that. And that is definitely something that we are fast tracking. The help that I would say is just kind of the guidance I got from Glenn on this earlier is just to be mindful of some of the fellow torchies that are around your area so that you can get that started. Now, whatever else you guys want to do, I would just be careful about posting personal information inside the chat just because you never know. I think that's always smart. But we are developing a way that you can protect your information, but also gather together. So that is something that's being fast tracked. But as of now, I would just know or just take note of some of the people that are in your areas. But beyond that, there are a lot of plans for that going forward. It is being fast tracked. Kenneth. Did your streaming connection get overloaded last night? Yes, Kenneth, it did. We thought we were going to be prepared for it, but as Glenn talked about at the top of the show, we were not prepared for it. And I think there was around 400 people that had issues that could not get in. So we are very sorry for that. And steps are being made. A lot of data was gathered, last night, on multiple different levels. But it was a cool thing to see. And who was... Don't Tread on Mitch said from Pataskala, Ohio, said last night's program was the return of must-see TV. Thank you so much, Mitch. Speaking of specials, immediately, not 2 seconds after the show, Glenn charges over to me and goes, I know what we're doing the next special on. And he had this amazing idea, and you are going to love it, our next special. I'm already starting to work on it. And some of the collaborators that we're working on for it, like Ryan Morrow was a collaborator for us on the last one, will be very special. So stay tuned. More information coming on that very, very soon. It's going to be exciting. Going to be a lot of work for me. But we have a lot more stuff to get to, a lot more calls. Call in right now to the Secret Scroll number and get right on with Glenn. But right now, the rest of the half of this hour is coming up right now.
Last night, we did our first special. It was supposed to run 90 minutes, ran at about an hour because I just couldn't stop talking. But it was staggering. And there's one thing, and I'm going to talk about this later. There's one part of this that I have been struggling with, especially in the last week or two, that I didn't know if I was right or not. And I've really been struggling with it. I've talked to a lot of people. We're going to do something on it next week, hopefully. But I didn't know if I was right. And something came out in the special last night that I'm watching and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know this is right now. I know this is right. And I want to talk to you about it. But here's how the special started. Listen.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, his truth is marching on.
Look, Islam will enter every household, whether you like it or not. Why am I in America? We are in this country purely for the sake of Allah.
Well, the Statue of Liberty is actually Lucifer, demonic bearer holding a torch of light.
Shocked? Well, you shouldn't be. Muslim holy wars date back to ancient times when Islam grew rapidly throughout, and with it, Christian and Jewish cities, like the Holy Land of Jerusalem, were violently overrun. Jihad marks the beginning of American history as well. In 1785, Dey Mohammed of Algiers declared war on the United States, and for Muslim pirates in the region, it became open season to capture American vessels. U.S. seamen were captured and enslaved. They were tortured until they agreed to convert to Islam, and women were sold to be married. And the battle to preserve the Judeo-Christian Western world from Islamists has never ended.
The religion of Islam will enter every household. This is the land of Allah, as every land is the land of Allah.
Too, I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damps. I can read the righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on.
The Western world might think our days battling radical Islam are mostly over, or that we left them behind, just like we did the days of George W. Bush dodging Iraqi shoes and the Afghanistan mess and names like Saddam Hussein. Or you might think Islamism is reserved for the Middle East, for countries too far to care about, too weak to fight back. It's a terrifying way of thinking, really, because it couldn't be further from the truth. See, while Europe took a sigh of relief after the war on terror supposedly ended, while the West became increasingly distracted by Washington, D.C. and by technology, and by adding pronoun declarations to automatic signatures, Islamists regrouped, they strategized, and they devised a new blueprint to overtake our home, with a plan that is arguably more terrifying than any of the others that we've seen before.
We don't say that Islam is here to coexist. This religion was sent to dominate the world.
It sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call retreat. He is sifting out the hearts of all before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. Our God is marching on.
Like termites building colonies hidden from view, they snuck underground. They waited. They infiltrated. They attacked from within. And while a war rages overseas, while it seems we're facing victory against Islamist tyrants thousands of miles away, we're losing the battle against their ideological counterparts here at home. And they took hold of America with such cold, tightly gripped claws that I fear they're never going to let go. Like oil and vinegar, shadow and sun, the Islamist way of life, Sharia law, is incompatible with the Western world, with your hopes and your dreams for your kids' future. Incompatible with freedom. An ideology that supports this?
We don't want a law banning children from marrying because it is against our teaching, the Prophet's instruction, and the Quran.
Cannot coincide with this.
Today, thousands of young girls flock to UT's campus for the annual STEM Girls Day, exploring math and science.
In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea with a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make us holy, let us die to make men free while God is marching on.
One side must win. So tonight, we learn, and we begin to ideologically wake up and fight back. The battle for freedom, for goodness, wages on.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory. His truth is marching on.
That was the beginning of our special last night. We thank everybody who is a Torch subscriber for watching it. It is going to be released on YouTube. Hopefully we can get it out next week, but it is going to have to be so highly edited. I mean, we played just the commercial on YouTube and gone. On X, it had the black box covering it, saying that
we had a graphic warning.
Yeah, we had a graphic warning for one clip that was maybe 10 seconds in the commercial for it. And X had to say no, or at least caution. YouTube is not going to let this thing run. So we are going to edit it and get it as much of it on the air as possible, but you won't understand all of it unless you're seeing the full picture. And I have to tell you, I've studied this now for 25, 30 years, since 9/11. I have been studying this. I have been learning this. I have been on top of this. And there were things that just congealed so strongly in my head last night. The Red-Green Alliance, I understood it in a different way because the way we put this special, you've never seen anything like this. We've never done anything like this. I don't think anybody has. It was a live documentary. The way it all came together as I'm at a chalkboard, I'm like, off script. This is progressivism. This is progressivism. They have learned from us what we told you last night about the alliance that they're making on our Native American lands. It is deep progressivism, and you'll see it is one in the same. It has merged so deeply now. And one of the other things that I learned, and I knew parts of it, but I didn't know until it was all coming together last night. October 7th hurt Hamas and Hezbollah deeply, especially in the Middle East. In the Middle East, it's being dismantled, and the Islamic nations know exactly what it is, and they're standing against it, and they're banning it in their own areas. The thing about, what was it, the UAE, they're no longer sending their students. They will not pay for students, their citizens, to go have education abroad in England because they say England is a hotbed for Islamic radicalism. They're saying their students are going over to England, going to Cambridge, going to these places, and they are coming back Islamic radicals. The UAE is saying that. So they're wide awake on what's going on, but we're not. So while that's all being dismantled in the Middle East, that they are putting in things saying, go, don't do this, don't do that, we've got to stop these people, we're still welcoming them, and their radicalization after October 7th became much, much worse. Much worse.
Glenn, when we put the censored version of this special on YouTube, can we edit out the crying?
Shut up. Shut up. I wasn't crying. I held myself together. I was moved.
It's that good, guys.
It is really, really good. One other thing on it that I'm thrilled, because I have been saying something, and I've had pushback on it from people I really respect, and I thought, I'm not sure if I'm right. And I've been doing, my homework behind the scenes. But what I've been saying to you is there's a difference between Islam and Islamist and Islamicism. And really smart people will say there is no difference. There is no difference. If you're a Muslim, you're in it. And that didn't feel right to me, but I didn't know for sure. And last night we showed you some facts. I mean, it was full of facts and the documents and the testimony and everything else. I showed you that I think it was around 2010. There was this radical Muslim Brotherhood style group that started buying up all of the mosques here in America. And when that started to happen, I can't remember the year, but when that started to happen, the regular American Muslim started crying out to the government for help. We're being taken over by hardliners. help, 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 stop this, stop this, stop this. And we didn't do anything. We didn't do anything. And when I heard that, I thought, there's your evidence. There are Muslims, lots of Muslims, that are saying, I don't want anything to do with this. CARE is absolutely not helpful. Let me just say it that way. And should not be listened to. CARE, they did a study on CARE. They asked Muslims, because they say they represent the Muslim American. What was it? Was it 6% or 10% of Muslims, when asked, who is your who represents you, and had a list of things? CARE got like 6% or 10%. They don't represent the average. They know what is happening. But if we don't stand with them, if we're not firm, they have no place to go, because they'll be killed first. And as Ryan said, Ryan Morrow, one of the researchers, he said, some of the strongest tips I get, some of the stuff that is the most potent, where I'm like, oh my gosh, that guy is a terrorist. He's like, it's an American Muslim that is turning them in, is saying, look, I have to be really quiet on this, because I'll be killed and my family will be killed, but this is what's going on in my mosque, and help, help, help. So there is a difference. There is a huge difference. And we're going to give you some answers on some things on what you can do. And take your phone call, 888-727-BECK. So much coming up on today's show, so stick with us. Listen, if you're a homeowner and several times a year you find yourself having to get up on a ladder just to clean out the gutters, I'm about to change your life, which is to say I'm very possibly about to save your life, making sure you don't have to stand on that ladder pulling gunk out of the gutters anymore. The answer you've been looking for your whole life is Leaf Filter. It's a gutter protection system that is going to keep everything except water out of your gutters. It's sturdy mesh system. It covers the gutters. It keeps all of the other debris out. And once Leaf Filter has been custom fit to your house and installed, you never have to worry about doing that chore again. Imagine the time you'll save. More importantly, imagine never having to get up there and clean those stupid gutters ever again. If it sounds good, start protecting your home now with Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system. Schedule your free inspection at leaffilter.com/Glenn Beck. Get 15% off at leaffilter.com/Glenn Beck. Minimum purchase is required. Restrictions do apply. See representative for warranty and promotion details. It's leaffilter.com/Glenn Beck.
Big tech wants clicks. We want connection. There's a big difference. Glenn Beck will be back after this.
Welcome back to the Torch Insider Show. A lot of questions right now on where they can actually find the special. Catherine in Tucson said, is the special available on the website? I can't find it. Was not available to watch last night. Very easy, Catherine. And for anyone else that has this question, so this right here, Matt, there you go. So this is right at glennbeck.com. As you type in glennbeck.com, the special is right there. You can click on it, hit play, boom, you're in. You can also, it's pretty much everywhere. Under specials, it's right there. You can click on it. If you go to watch, go to new videos right there, specials right there. It's pretty much all over, but the easiest way is just right as you click on, right on the landing page. And this should be standard throughout the apps and everything. Yes, Glenn?
This is a sincere question. I don't know how to make it easier. I really don't. It's on the front. So give us suggestions, because we are puzzled by this. It's right at the top. It's Jihad from within. It's right there. And people are missing it. So we must be doing something wrong. We're missing something intuitive. So if you have suggestions, tell us where you think it should be. Because right now it's at the top of the watch page. And first thing you see when you click on it, is it not clear? What should it say? Watch now underneath a little arrow. What are we missing that's not intuitive? That's not a slam. That's an honest question. We don't know how to fix that, because it seems very obvious to us what's happening. And if you're not getting it, on the page. Take a screenshot and send it to us so we see what you're seeing that maybe we're not seeing. Thanks.
Yeah, and if it's different on whatever streaming platform you're looking at, if it's different like on the Roku app, or if it's different on like Fire Stick or wherever else you're like streaming it from, let us know exactly what that is. So if it's different from what we're looking at here, then let us know. But right at glennbeck.com, also under watch, also under specials. It's the very first video. So that's that. I'm going to go back to more of your comments. I got Catherine in Tucson. So Naughty, excellent opening, whoever came up with it. Let me tell you something. Person that came up with that opening does not get the public accolades. She gets tons of accolades from us, but does not get the public ones. But I wish she would. I wish she would come in here and show her face, but she probably won't because she doesn't ask for the accolades. But she is amazing. Does so much of our video production stuff, and I mean, should be in Hollywood. She absolutely should be in Hollywood. She'd be making millions. I mean, never mind. That's right. Oh, yeah. Can't be around other people.
And, can't be around anybody, and she's not going to be around long, so we wish her well.
Yeah.
But she'll be here with us.
Yep. Warner Brothers,
no attention.
Paramount, all those others. Sorry. Yeah.
She is really good. Bowie is a superstar, an absolute superstar. She really is.
She's insane.
Yeah. Too bad she has leprosy.
That really, really sucks. Texas, Alaska, Puerto Rican. I love this name. Every time it pops up, I love it. This is like the second time in a couple of days I've seen Texas, Alaska, Puerto Rican. Jason, the most concerning thing that stuck me from last night is that our government is complicit in the Islamization of America. They brought them in. What Obama referred to, fundamentally transforming the nation. Red-Green Alliance, I think, is exactly what they had in mind. We just didn't know the extent of it then. It goes even further if you watch the special last night, how complicit our government actually is. More on that coming up in our next segment. But now, here's Glenn.
Here's a clip from last night's broadcast.
Before we go any further, let me give the usual stipulation. This is not about Muslims as people. This is not about your neighbors. This is not about religious freedom. This is about political Islamism. It is not the same thing as Islam, or so I believe, although that is debatable. We are talking about an ideology.
Hey, stop there. That is at the beginning of the special. My opinion changed on that. That was not in the script. I added, although that is debatable, I added that because I wasn't sure. I changed my mind by the end of the special. This will really wake you up. Let me go to Ron in South Carolina. Hello, Ron. Quickly, we've got just about a minute. Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I wanted to find out what, as American citizens, we can do to help stop the Red-Green Alliance.
So one of the things that you can do, and I hope that Ron DeSantis will come on with us next week. We've been trying to get to his office and get him on, and we haven't been able to connect our schedules. But Governor DeSantis is probably the best. He just passed a sweeping law in Florida with teeth, and that's what has to happen. Every state must start going after Sharia law and must start paying attention to these things, or you're going to lose us state by state. So that's why you don't have to wait for Washington. There are things, and I hope to have some people on next week that can talk specifically about this, things in your own state that must be done, and you can no longer dismiss, as you saw in the special last night. If you dismiss these things that are coming progressively, little by little, you'll miss the bigger picture, and it will be too late. And we are running out of time. I think Europe is out of time or damn near out of time. We've got about 5 years.
Welcome back to the Torch Insider Show. Sarah and Ricky are poking fun at Glenn, and I'm laughing at them. Best segment of the day, Insiders. This is our longest segment, and I want to jump right back into where we left off in the last segment because Texas, Alaska, Puerto Rican, one of the best names on the Insider chat right now, said the most concerning thing that struck out to me from last night is that our own government is complicit and that Obama referred to fundamentally transforming the nation. And I absolutely think that you are 100% thinking in the right way, Texas, Alaska, Puerto Rican, because we did not understand Red Green Alliance back then. We just didn't. There's a lot of things from the Obama administration that we didn't quite. We were snooping around what the Obamas had in mind with everything they were doing. And Red Green Alliance was actually one of them. And as we showed in the special, a lot of the eyeballs that we had on some of these Islamist groups, like the Muslim Brotherhood, like multiple different Islamist organizations that Glenn read off yesterday. It was in the special about how many mosques are controlled by some of these organizations. They knew about them. We had eyeballs. The FBI was looking into them. Some of them were having meetings inside the White House. I don't know if that really hit home yesterday during the special, but on the day of 9/11, one of these groups, Muslim Brotherhood connected groups, was supposed to meet inside the White House and talk to George Bush on 9/11. The meeting got canceled because of the attacks. But the crazy irony that was supposed to happen on that day is just wild. And that's something that Ryan Morrow dug up. He actually did a FOIA of DOJ and FBI documents surrounding that. And he found a document that showed that the FBI was warning specifically about that group, the group that was supposed to meet with Bush in the Oval Office, that they had significant access to the highest levels of government, including the presidential office. They knew all of this. They knew it. But then once the Obama administration came in and they got influenced by organizations like CARE, by the way, some of those documents on CARE, the court papers said I wish I had the direct quote up, but that they were a Muslim Brotherhood affiliated entity, specifically with aspirations, or specifically with ties to promote terrorists. How do you know that and just completely forget about it? How today are they considered a legitimate organization? It's a problem of our government's own doing that they still will not do anything about it. It's mind-boggling. It really is. It's one of those duct tape your head movements. Angry Millennial. I do wish we could get a jacket you wore last night. Looks super fly. Love it. And the Michelle Mountains followed that up with, as a founder, I'd for sure love a founding Torch member jacket. I'd pay for one. The interesting thing about those jackets is that was a little insider baseball on that. We received those jackets when we launched the Torch. We had this big town hall type meeting with our team, and they gave us those for founding and launching the Torch on that day. And some people talked about it, and we've had some internal conversations on doing a version of that for founders. So instead of saying crew member, saying founder, something like that. I think that is actually in the works, and it is a super fly jacket. I wear it everywhere. You might see me around town, DFW, wearing that jacket.